Is this thing on? Yeah, it's on. What's going on, folks? It's your man Jay, and I'm back with another video, and this is my 3-day mini review of my time with the iPhone 11. Now, there are some things that I genuinely I'm flabbergasted about with the iPhone 11. Now, I told you guys, I'm going to jump right in this. I told you guys, hey, you could probably, get a Galaxy Note 10 Plus and run your channel, your YouTube channel. Well, this is beast mode, and you definitely can. But for those of you that don't, like, here's the thing: if you're on Android right now, recording this video, this is the phone to get to run your channel for YouTube. Those are YouTube tips, YouTube, opinions. If you're on iOS and you like Apple, the iPhone 11 is the phone to get to run your YouTube channel. Putting aside all other iPhones at this point, I'm just being honest. The iPhone 11, not the Pros, the iPhone 11 is the one to get to run your channel. Grab your 128 or a 256 gig, or if you don't want the storage and you're going to just transfer files to your Mac, you're going to save yourself a bunch of headaches. Having used and compared this phone next to the Pro models, taking price aside, I did not see anything different just because the other one has one extra lens. I am so impressed with the portrait shots on here. It's incredible. And Google has their hands cut out. They have their work cut out for them. I compared this next to the 3A. I'm still working on whether I want to put that video out or not, because I'm just randomly taking shots on both phones of the same thing. This phone's front camera for portrait shots beats out some rear camera phones for portrait shots. That's how good these cameras are. You heard me say it. I'm not loyal to any one brand, but good is good and great is great and fantastic is fantastic. And these cameras take great still shots. Not just portrait shots, still shots. Really, really solid cameras. And I'm focusing more on cameras on this channel with the iPhone 11 because I got it for video recording. That's why I got it. I didn't really get it because I like iOS or I like iPhones. I've reviewed pretty much every iPhone every year. I pick one that I want to stay with, and that's it. And this phone right here is so impressive with the still shots and portraits. I'm actually kind of shocked. So Google is going to bring it. I know they are. Because they're not going to let Apple beat them out. Google, where's my Pixel? The Pixel has some of the best portrait and still shots in the game. So I'm really ready for the Pixel 4. I think the Pixel 4 is going to blow this phone out the water, to be honest. Because I'm comparing it with the 3A right now, and the 3A does some things better. Just saying. But this phone has an advantage because it can do portrait on the front, and oh, it is so good, man. You get to see yourself, that wide, both wide-angle cameras. The Pixel doesn't have the wide-angle joint yet, so, the 3A, it's just not, the Pixel 4 is going to bring it, I'm sure. So still shots, check the box. Video. This is why I got this phone, for video. If you're on the fence about getting the Pro model, if you're a YouTuber and you're trying to find that phone and you don't want to buy DSLR, Apple doesn't say that this phone is for the people, for creators. I'm telling you, this is a phone for creators. Being able to push out the video, and I've been lately focusing on 4K and 60 frames per second because my DSLR only does 4K. And I like 60 frames per second footage, and so that's where the Note comes in. This is a beast mode camera for 4K 60 frames per second. It has been my camera of choice to run the channel for the last 30 days. If you didn't know, I ran my entire YouTube channel on this phone, nothing else. The only time I went to the iMac is when I had to do some side-by-side footage. I just couldn't really get it done in PowerDirector Pro the way I wanted. Other than that, Note 10 Plus. Now that the iPhone 11 is here, I recorded the video 30-day review of the Note 10 Plus with the iPhone, a straight shot through. And the footage was great. You guys said, man, that footage is clear. You said that. So, cameras on here, videography, oh man, folks, you are going to be impressed. If you're a YouTuber, at this point in the game, iPhone 11, you choose your memory size, not the Pro. iPhone 11, you choose your memory size. If you don't have a Mac, get a 256 gig. If you do have a Mac, or any of the Macs or iPads or anything, I would say just get the lowest storage model if you want to, because you can dump it off into your other thing, edit, and then just delete it permanently. You know what I'm saying? So the video footage, that is. So if you're a content creator who's pro Apple, iPhone 11. Forget what Apple's talking about. I'm not sponsored by Apple in any kind of way. Forget what they're talking about. That Pro model is banging. It's nice. I'm feeling it. I like it. I wanted to get the green, like I said I wanted at the beginning. But once I used the cameras, I thought, how am I going to justify spending this cash on this? And these cameras are identical. Remember, I'm speaking for what I need on my channel. Videography is where this phone blows it away, folks. I mean, I showed you in the extended coverage for cameras, like I always do with this phone, and boy, oh boy, oh boy, this thing, let me say something crazy, this phone rocks. Seriously. I mean, the highlight of the iPhone 11 and all of them for me is the cameras. The cameras. If the iPhone 11 Pro had something other than that telephoto lens, like it had, I don't know, Type-C or something, I probably would have went with the Pro no matter what. But this is middle ground. This has a 6.1-inch display. It's in the middle, and it's got all the internals, all the power, everything. So cameras, top of the list. Now, what else is good about this phone? Well, now we're back to just calling it a regular. It's just an iPhone. Like, seriously, for me, it's just an iPhone. Things don't really stand out on iPhones like they used to when I first got them. You know, they were exciting, but now the redundancy is there. You know, this is nothing more than a 10R with another camera and a one-up number for the processor. Like, seriously, and it costs $50 less, so people are enticed by that. But folks, don't be fooled into believing that $700 is cheap and a budget phone. Like, real talk. This is an expensive piece of equipment. You know what I'm saying? So Apple has mastered the art of tricking people into telling them that $700 is a good phone. It's a good price. It's a cheap. It's always a budget. No. No, it's not. $700 is not cheap. It's expensive. So, again, it's just an iPhone. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean, it's just an iPhone. Like, I'm not getting any better experience than I did on my 10 or my 10R. Nothing whatsoever. Okay, I got dark mode. Oh, you can swipe on the keyboard now. The swiping of the keyboard, to me, garbage. It'll never compare to Gboard on the Android devices, because Gboard on iOS doesn't work as good as it does on Android phones. That's something native to Android phones now. It's like nothing, you know what I'm saying? It's been there so long that when I try it on iOS, it's just not, it doesn't feel as good. It's picking the wrong words I'm swiping through, and it's just not working right. So the swiping technique on the Apple phone is not that great to me. Not really that impressed. But where I am impressed, where was I impressed last time? Where were we all impressed? Battery. I lasted, I still had, when I got up today, I had about 20% left. As a matter of fact, it chimed at 20%, and I just put it on the shower. I put it on the charger and jumped in the shower. And I don't use the 5-watt charger. I have an Anchor, so when I got out the shower, I was at like 68% in like 15 minutes or whatever like that. I don't know, 20 minutes. 20 minutes later, whatever, I looked at it, I was at 68%, up from 20. So it charges fast with the right charger. But, you know, I say jump on Amazon and grab you a little, you know what, use your iPad charger. Find your iPad charger if you have an iPad. If you don't have an iPad charger, then jump on Amazon, find you a nice 40-watt charger for $20 or $19. There's a ton of them out there that work. So, battery life, great. Fantastic. When I talk about a phone that I've had for a minute, it's difficult not to, you know, tell you. I can't tell you that it's just all great, because it's not. I'm not so much an iPhone person, but I'm an Apple person. You know what I mean? It's strange like that. iPhones are at the bottom of the list for all the Apple products that I own. Meaning it's the one that I really don't want to buy the most. I'm more excited about Macs and iPads and things like that. Apple Watch is more exciting. You know, just, I don't know, certain things just excite me more when with the Apple brand. And now I'm excited about the Apple TV. I get a free year of Apple TV with this since I bought this, and I'll enjoy it. I think it doesn't start until November 1st or something like that. It's Apple TV Plus or something like that. Somebody tell me how to redeem. I've looked, and the most I could find was on November 1st, you go into your account, you hit redeem or something like that. And then, you know, they'll tell you, you get your free year or something like, I don't know. Somebody help me out in the comments. I think it's November 1st. I'm not sure. The plus, whatever we get free or whatever. But yeah, this iPhone 11 is not only my smart purchase dealing with Apple, it's a safe purchase dealing with Apple. I'm just being honest. It's a safe purchase for me. If this sits on my desk and I never use it for 2 months, I don't feel like I lost much because now, that's not going to happen, but I'm still in my review phase. And just so you know, it's been very tough not having my SIM card in my Galaxy Note 10 Plus. Don't get it twisted. You know, there's so much that the Galaxy Note 10 Plus, or just Android phones, period, when it comes to creator mode, that I like better on Android. Editing videos, though, with iMovie on here, it's a snap. It's good. You know, I like editing on here. But editing with Power Director is really, really good. I really like it. So, but overall, man, you know, these past 3 days, it's been cool, man. I've dropped it a couple times, but right now I'm rocking the iBlvd clear case. The iPhone 11, man, I'm fired up about using these cameras. Everything else, I'm just kind of flowing with it. You know what I'm saying? I knew I was gonna get good battery. I was hoping the cameras will be good. But after that, it still is just an iPhone. And I'm glad that I picked up the 11. I'll get the Pros later. Some of you go, why didn't you get the Pro? Why didn't you get the Pro? Gotta watch the video. I've said it a million times why I didn't get the Pro. But I will get the Pro at some point. I just don't know when. Because I get my military discount, or my government discount. Not military, I get a government discount. It's big. I told you I didn't even pay $550 for this. And I could get a 512 gig plus model for, I think, just right at $1,000 or a little bit more, I think it was. That's a huge discount. So I could grab it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just not in a hurry. I'm really focusing on cameras. And I'm excited about it. So what do you think about the iPhone 11? How is your iPhone 11 doing? If you have the 11 or just any other Pro, if you have any of the new iPhones, what do you like about it? What do you dislike about it? I've already told you my dislikes in this video, some of them, and I've focused on my likes. So let's talk about it in the comments. It's your man Jay. I'm about to get out of here, and let's go in. Let's go out like this. To focus on the cameras.